What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a long awaited video based on backflips. Everyone always asks me to teach a backflip. Today I'm not going to necessarily teach you a backflip, but I'm going to teach you the top tricks in order to get the perfect backflip. So if you're someone who can already flip comfortably, this video is for you. Now take in mind, I am in a nice safe environment, nice cushioning floors, and I'm someone who's done back tucks for a long time. So make sure before you attempt any type of flip that you do have proper coaching and proper matting. So for back tucks, the main thing that a lot of people see, or that I see people get wrong, is they bend their knees too much. So they'll go into their back flip and bend all the way down into a super deep squat. Now what does that mean for your back tuck? That means you have to not only go from here, but now you have to come all the way up and then flip your body. So it's a lot more work. Key thing with a back tuck, you wanna stand with your feet shoulder width apart, or you can even do feet together if you're a gymnast. Feet apart is fine, just hip width. You're gonna do a micro bend into your knees so that we can get nice and loaded into our hips and our glutes and our hamstrings. And then from there, you're gonna explode up, set your hips forward, and that puts you in a much better position. If I'm all the way down here, I have to come all the way up and then set my hips. It takes a lot longer and your back tuck's gonna be a lot slower and have not as much height. Second key thing, usually the swing is a little off. People either do one of two things. Either they don't swing enough and they cut their swing short and then whip their head backwards, which cuts off a lot of the set of the back tuck, which is the most important part, or they'll go too wild and they'll go really, really big and then just kind of lead everything with their arms and kind of forget about everything else. So we're gonna do a proper set. Starting with our arms up, we're gonna do that micro bend coming down. Arms will come in behind us. We're gonna time it all together, that as we explode through our legs and our hips, our arms come up and our head is set forward. Third biggest mistake that I always see is the head position. A lot of people will throw their head back right away, and again, that's gonna cut off your set. So you wanna look in front of you for as long as you can, set those hips, and then you're gonna pull for your back tuck. So in a fast motion, I'll try to emphasize it as much as I can. We're gonna start here, micro bend, and then land. So as you can see, I did a small bend, I set my hips, and my arms came up. Now, if you're someone who struggles with height in their back tuck, I highly recommend doing it onto slightly elevated surface. So I have a box right here. This one is, I'm very comfortable with going onto this height, but you can always start a little lower with like a small sting mat and then gradually building it up. But this will ensure that you're having to go up onto a height, so your actual height of your back tuck will be a lot better. So we're gonna start in front. We're gonna do the same swinging motion. Arms up by your ears, swing, and then up for the tuck. So we're gonna do that one more time. Ideally on that one, I actually landed a little bit far, so my set wasn't that great. I'm gonna try to land closer to about the top of the box rather than the end of the box. So starting in front, I'm gonna make sure to set my hips, and then there. So now that I landed in my ideal spot, you can also probably tell my chest position when I landed my back tuck was also a lot better. On that first one, I landed very hunched over and then had to stand, versus this one, I landed more upright and it's a much quicker position. So depending on how you land will give you a good initiation, or a good idea, of your actual flipping of rotation as well as your set. If you're landing super short down here, you didn't flip fast enough and you didn't get high enough in your back tuck. Two ways to increase your rotation is how you grab your legs. A lot of people will grab in front. I'm personally not a fan of that one, only because if you grab in front, it's really easy to slip off your knee. I like grabbing in behind. That way, if I just slip, I'm still holding my leg and I can still get that rotation. Another thing that will cut off your rotation is, again, doing too much of an early set. So you wanna make sure that your arms and legs are nice and straight, and then your legs come whipping in. If your legs aren't fast enough in that tucking position, then your flip is gonna be very slow. So I'm gonna show you two tuck variations. The first one with my tuck being slow, because I'm not bringing my knees in fast enough and I'm very open. So see how open I am in that back tuck? It kind of looks a little bit sloppy. I still got around, I still landed it, but it's not ideal. We're gonna try that again. We're gonna have a nice big setup with our arms coming up and grabbing. As you can see, when I finished that one, I had momentum out of it and I was able to take a small step backwards. That's because I had so much rotation and so much power from my set, as well as me grabbing my knees in behind. When it comes to landing for your back tuck, spotting is the most important thing. A lot of us close our eyes when we flip, and that's a big no-no. Trust me, I'm someone who used to do it when I was younger. But basically, from the beginning of your flip, you're gonna see in front of you, and then when you're upside down, you're gonna see the floor, spot, and then ideally a stuck landing is what we're going for. So we're gonna start with our arms up, set, look, small step, but overall pretty good. So again, a great way to train your back tucks in terms of consistency. I like to train it as I have to stick 10 solid back tucks in a row. If I mess up or if I take a step, I just start all the way back at the beginning and I have to get 10 in a row. So these are just some key things that I do for my training for backflips in order to make sure I have enough power, rotation, and consistency. If you guys like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And if you like any of the exercise or tutorial type paced content, there is tons on my app. So on my app, I don't necessarily go through backflips, but I go through beginner calisthenics freestyle, as well as floor calisthenics freestyle, in addition to multiple programs. So make sure to check that out, and I will see you guys next time.